first press conference for the first window one of the World Cup qualifiers. We have with us Jamaica after this dramatic first win. So we're gonna have like first a brief comment from player, then we can open up the room for questions for players so that he can go shower, and then we'll do the questions for coach. So Kofi, a brief comment on the game.
Firstly, I would like to say I'm a firm believer in contagious energy. You know, and ever since Coach Vic started recruiting me, from the coaching staff to the staff to the players, energy has been great. You know, it started with these guys' sacrifice, commitment, and energy, and that rewarded us this win today. I'm eternally grateful for the opportunity, and we're going to keep going.
Do we have questions for Kofi? Yeah.
Kofi, you started the game maybe a little tense, but as the game went on, you kind of got into your groove and playing a little bit more confident. Like, can you walk us through the first quarter and like how you finished so strong?
I feel like at first I was just letting the game come to me. I was just very complacent. I was very complacent, and you know, Coach Rick and other staff, they mentioned to me that, yo, we need you to get going in order for us to win this game, you know. And just the constant like battering of coaches and my teammates, like believing in me over and over again, you know, that's what got me going.
And to finish off the game with the game winning putback, like summarize how that feeling coming your first match, first game back, and being able to score the game winner for your country. How does that feel?
I have one thing to say: it's the greatest feeling ever. That's probably a top 3 ever game in my life.
Hello, Maria Fernanda Rivera Figueroa for Photo by Maria. Congratulations on your first win. First of all, how did you manage to not lose your tempo when Puerto Rico go on the lead on the first half? And then how did you manage to keep up the tempo even though you fell down on the second half?
I would just give that all to my experience. You know, I've been playing high-level basketball for a long time, and you know, just playing so many games, you know, and being in so many different situations, it allowed me to, you know, remain calm. And like I said, the coaching staff, they're constantly speaking to us, telling us to, yo, make sure your head is, make sure you stay in the moment. Don't try to be ahead, or you know, don't try to feel down. You know, so yeah, that's it.
Raul Alzaga, courtside VIP. What were your thoughts when the game was tied 90-90? You got a couple of seconds to execute. What went through your mind?
Anxiety. My heart was probably racing. You know, you know, when you're in that moment, you know, it's one of the biggest games of our lives, and like you're in that moment and you realize that, yo, this could go either way. You know, you just have to, like you said, you know, remain focused and like, you know, just trust yourself, trust your teammates.
And what went through your mind when you did win?
Hey, you saw it. I was jumping for joy. You know, like I said, I almost passed out, exhausted.
Hey, man.
Kofi, congrats on a great game again. What were your thoughts on the job that Christian Negron did on you? He was our starting center. He doesn't have a lot of experience with the national team, and we have some trouble getting our bigger players for this window. What can you say about his role tonight? He seemed to be very physical on you. Obviously, he's a little bit shorter than you, but a little bit faster.
Kudos to him, man. You know, as we're playing these games, guys are representing their countries, and I think that he did a wonderful job of that. Knowing that I probably have 100 pounds on him, he definitely tried to stop me as hard as he could. He definitely stopped me from going into the middle. Coach was on me about, yo, just try to get to the middle. Don't stop. That's how bad it was. He was actually fighting me, you know, so I want to give him props for that.
Yeah, so thank you, Kofi. Thank you for your kindness. We'll have a brief comment from Coach coming up.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, what a game. Geez. When you get a performance like that, what is it? 26 points and 15 rebounds from Kofi Cockburn, who has really been kind of the heartbeat this week for us. And to see him get that game-winning basket in that situation, given, you know, what this means for us. And, you know, we feel like we're in the toughest pool. Puerto Rico is just one of the best teams in the world. Canada is one of the best teams in the world. Bahamas is they're one game away from the Olympics last go around. So for us to be in this pool, it was really, a daunting task. And we talked about really wanted to emphasize keeping our composure. And then, who lost his composure? The coach gets a technical foul. So I didn't really follow through on that. But that was one of the things that I got to say, our guards really, Drew Thelwell and Chase Adige, they were just super composed and great leadership on the court. And they played a ton of minutes. I can talk forever. You guys probably don't want to hear me talk forever, but when you have a challenge with a team like Puerto Rico, for us to come out of here with a win like that, a first ever for Jamaica, given what's happening back home, this is cool.
Yeah. A question from Javier in the back.
Coach, the third quarter started 16-0. You guys made
In my favor.
a run. Do you feel something that will allow you to make that run to start the third quarter, or do you think it was just a...
Well, I mean, a little bit, to end the half, we were just kind of hanging on, we just wanted to, I think we were just kind of limping into halftime. And then we went into the locker room at halftime and we just kind of reconfirmed the things that we talked about and knew that we didn't put our best foot forward, especially in the second quarter. I mean, the first quarter was fine. The second quarter, we didn't do our thing. So we were able to kind of regroup at halftime. We didn't do anything different other than just kind of recommit to the things that we wanted to do, and we wanted to make things difficult on Puerto Rico. And, at times we didn't. I mean, the first, they got the first 9 threes were uncontested, essentially. And all we talked about all week long was let's contest everything. We know they're a good team, so let's make them earn it. And we didn't really do a good job of that. And I think in the second half, we just bared down and did that a little bit better. And that's my assessment.
Great. We'll have one more question right here.
Yeah, Coach, this is my last question, but I can tell you're a bit emotional. Can you just walk us through this emotional part of your, I guess, the career overall? Like, maybe this is something that you rank very high overall?
It could be the water that they spilled all over me. That could be what it is. But no, I'm an emotional guy. This was a great win. What are we ranked? 119th or something like that? I don't know. I don't care what our ranking is, but I know that Puerto Rico is a top 15 team in the world. This is Jamaica. We've been working at this. I was hired by Paulton Gordon, who's just done an amazing job with Jamaica basketball since he came on in 2018, 2019. He gave me an opportunity. The pandemic hit everybody. We got delayed for a couple of years, and we just tried to start building a pool of players that could compete at a high level. We thought we had those players, and I think we do. There's more to come. This is the beginning of the journey. The thing is, this is the first window, and I said we have a pool, the toughest pool with Puerto Rico, Canada, and Bahamas. We still have 5 more games. We haven't done anything. This is awesome. This is so much fun. This is why you play the sport. This is why you compete and do things. But we haven't accomplished anything. We're trying to move on to the next round.
Thank you, Coach.
That
Thanks.
it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right,
Thank
I
you.
can talk all night. Are you sure?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you being here. Yes.
Thanks. Good night.
Do you need me? Question?
Oh, yeah, you can do one more.
Yeah, go for it.
You were talking about the emotions because what happened back home with the hurricane. Can you talk about that? How that affects the team or coming here?
Boy, that's really layered. That's a really layered question. I think in large, like Kenton Facey, his family really got hit hard. You know, one of our assistant coaches, Parker Morgan, doesn't have a roof on his house. He's got tarps on it right now. You know, everyone is touched by it in a certain way. You know, most of these guys are playing overseas and doing their thing with their club teams, but they're touched by it. You know, so when you play a game like this, and you know it affects so many people other than yourselves, it just really, it really has the opportunity, and we've talked about this. I talked about this at the beginning of this journey. Like, we have an opportunity to lift up a country and bring something special to Jamaica that they've never experienced before. So why can't it be us? The only thing holding us back is us.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks.
Okay.
Good night.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night.